Hey guys, Retro Mikey 78 here, and today we're going to cover my top 5 Super Nintendo games. Why is this a top 5 video from a top 10? Many of you will ask. The Super Nintendo is a system that I didn't get till later in life. My parents told me that I didn't need a Super Nintendo. I already had a Nintendo. So I had 2 friends growing up that did have this. One of them didn't get very many games, and the other one rented a lot of games. But I didn't play a lot of the different stuff out there. So by the time I got this, the 64 and the PlayStation were in the heat of their eras, and I focused on them. Only thing I ever went back to the Super Nintendo was to play a few certain games. Yeah, I know there's games out there people call some of the greatest games in the world. I need to get them and I need to play them. But until I do, I can't say that they're my top 5. I can't, go off somebody else's list saying, oh, that game looks awesome, but I got to play it. I got to give it my own chance. So people have been asking me since I did my Super Nintendo collection what to do a top 5 or top 10. Well, I can't do one. I'm going to do a top 5. So that being said, I wanted to show you a little bit what I got first. I got this really nice Super Nintendo that I use. I got me a Super Nintendo Junior. I think the only thing I've ever done is turned it on. I am going to get somebody to whiten it this summer though. And I used the Retron 5 here a lot to capture a lot of the game footage. And I brought this out here to show you guys. This is the Hyperkin Super Nintendo controller they made. Honestly, somebody hinted to me that this was a really good controller, and now that I've got it, I don't even actually use the regular Super Nintendo ones anymore. This thing has an excellent grip. Just holding it here, the way it feels, just feels better in your hand than the original Super. And I also have this that I use occasionally for some shooter games or some Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. This is a nice piece. You guys get a chance to find you a Super NES Advantage, I'd pick one up. But you guys are here to see the top 5. That's what we're going to do now. Let's get into those top 5. Now remember, even though I have 130 games, 140 in my collection, I've not played 90% of them. I've only put them in, checked them to see if they work. So, let's go through this list. Number 5 on the list, Super Mario AllStars with Super Mario World. I know some of you guys are probably thinking, why did I pick Super Mario All-Stars with World? It's probably because you get the best of both of them. I do like Super Mario World, yet I've never really went through the whole game, and I've never really beat it. So, therefore, as much as I do like the game, I think it's a fun game. I like the aspect of being able to play with Yoshi and the different graphics that they show on it. It was just one game that I never went through all the way through. And now I kind of regret that, at this point in my life. But, the classic ones, the original Mario 1, 2, and 3, I went all the way through them on the NES. And, that's because I grew up with the NES. That's what I had, was all the Marios on the NES. And, that being said, that's what I had. That's what I had growing up. And that's one of the reasons that this is on the list, but it's at number 5, is because, I didn't have this growing up, and it's there because I didn't play much. But I love the All-Stars. I like the color tone. I like the 16-bit graphics with the All-Stars. And I think it spruced up some of the levels. Some people might throw a fit or be surprised that I actually like Mario 2. I thought it was an excellent game, even though it wasn't a true Mario 2. Wasn't what Japan had as a Mario 2. I thought Mario 2 was an excellent game. So, that being said, that's my top 5 on this list. Number 4 on the list, Super Mario Kart. Now, Super Mario Kart. I did, I owned this for a brief time in the early 2000s. And I did go through every bit of the game, although I did find Rainbow Road hard, and this Mario Kart was harder than Mario Kart 64. But mostly, I did play this growing up at a friend's house, named Brian. Me and him spent hours on hours playing this, but he owned the game, so of course, he was a lot better at it than I was, and look at me running into a wall there. I still ain't that good at it now. I haven't played this game in probably 15, 20 years. But hey, it's a classic game. It's one of these games that you grow up with and that you like. So hey, Mario Kart, I'm happy it's on my top 5. I'm happy I got to experience it. If it wasn't for this, whenever Mario Kart 64 came out, I probably wouldn't have been so excited for that, but I really was excited. This is the track I thought was the funnest on this game. I used to love playing this Ghost Valley #1. And I think it was because of the shortcut you could use with the feather. And I do that at the end. After I get smashed here, it's the only way I can get back up to first. Yeah, Peach has got a huge lead on me. But, I didn't have this game except for that little bit, growing up. I missed out on this. My parents said I didn't need a Super Nintendo. So, all you guys that had your Super Nintendo growing up, I'm kind of jealous. I wish I would have had one, but my parents said no, so that's what I had to live with. I didn't get one. And here's my favorite part of this track, feather. Number 3 on the list. Oh, wrong side. Cool spot. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say cool spots on your list. I wouldn't knock this game until you tried it. This game, I thought, was revolutionary for its time. It used an iconic character that was on TV a lot, and it did a lot with it. But the graphics they had on it, the scenery, I just thought the game was well done. I really liked the gameplay of it. I liked the aspect of it. It was just fun for me. That being said, I know there's a lot of people out there that, haven't played it. When I bought my copy for the Sega Genesis, bought it off a guy in a bundle. He told me he's had it for 2 years. And I said, you got a complete copy of Cool Spot. That's one of the run things I wanted. And he goes, I've never played that game. I told him he missed out. I said, this was a fun game. I really enjoyed it, and what you always want to try to do is get to that bonus level. That's one of the things I really thought was fun in this game, was getting to the bonus level and doing that. I'll show you the bonus level here in a minute. Put you inside a 7-Up bottle, and all you're doing is collecting these tokens. You got to get time things to make your time go faster. And then you also have to collect the where it's spelled out Uncola in it. And it's not as easy as you think. It gets difficult because, they disappear and they reappear. But like I said, it's a fun game. I would highly suggest anybody buying it, picking it up. It's why it's number 3 on my list. It's what I played and it's what I thought was fun. My buddy Brian got tired of me wanting to rent it every time I came over to his house. Number 2 on the list. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. Now, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. I'm going to tell you right now, this game is superb. The graphics on it, the fighting style. I think this is probably one of the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games there ever were. That being said, I honestly didn't. I did play it on the Super Nintendo back in the day when I had one. But my favorite version of this, and probably still to this day, is the HD version on the Xbox 360. And the fact that it's no longer on the 360 store, nobody can buy it, that is a downside. That might be something I do one day. I've been thinking about that. Maybe live streaming a playthrough on the 360. Me and my wife playing through it, or trying to. I mean, we haven't played it in years. But this game here, it's so iconic. It's so, the graphics, the way you throw the foot soldiers at the screen. I just don't know what to say. It was, to me, it was a groundbreaking game at the time. But I know a lot of people, they like Turtles 2 Arcade better than this one, but I thought Turtles 4, Turtles in Time is my favorite turtle game of all time. So that being said, that's why it's number 2 on my list and not number 3, 4. You know, maybe after I play a few other Super Nintendo games, they might blow this one down, but I doubt it. This game, it's just so iconic, so nostalgic to me. And then we have the number 1, the best game I ever had played on the Super Nintendo, and one game I wish they'd make a true sequel to, Super Mario RPG and the Legend of the 7 Stars. And yes, folks, an RPG game. This is the only RPG game I ever played on the Super Nintendo, but this is my favorite game on the Super Nintendo. I love the story. I've went through this game at least 9 to 10 times. I couldn't tell you the exact amount. I own this on the Wii, the Wii U. That's one thing with digital. You know, I buy it digital, and now the stores are closed. So if my systems ever break, I lose that game. So that being said, though, I am glad I have this copy. I also have Super Mario RPG Armageddon, the homebrew, what makes it harder. And I'm telling you what, this game is easy, and that homebrew that makes it harder, wow. You guys ever get a chance to pick that up, I would, if you like this game, because I can't even make it past this round here playing this. But that being said, Mario RPG is just, like I said, the story is just really involved. You get into the story, being able to play as Bowser. It actually made me like Bowser. You know, Bowser's actually became one of my favorite Mario characters since this game. And I actually like playing as Princess Toadstool. You know, I think this was the first time you actually got to do that besides Mario 2. And like I said, the cool specials you had, the way, you know, getting to use Mario and the bunch of this. I know Paper Mario series is out there now, but I think this here was the best Mario RPG that they ever made. I wish Square and Nintendo were back together. I wish they'd make a sequel. So that being said, there's my Super Nintendo list. Like I told you guys in the videos, you guys seen the gameplay. You know, some of these games are just the nostalgic memory to them, but I've played through them. These are the games that I play over and over and over. This is my top 5 list. Hey, please tell me what your guys' top 5 is. I know you guys, I know a lot of people out there love Super Metroid, love Earthbound. I've never played those. I've never played Chrono Trigger. I've never played any of the Final Fantasies on this system. I do need to find those, and I do need to sit down and play them. It's hard to find the time, you know, now that I'm an adult and grown up and have so much responsibilities. You know, I try to do this YouTube channel while I go to work all the time. And my job, I work 6 to 7 days a week when I'm at work. So that being said, this is what I have for my Super. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave me a like, a subscribe, a share. I'll catch you guys back again with the next video. Thanks for watching Retro Mikey 78.